And welcome once again to the Mesilla Valley News Sports Podcast. We are on Saturday at Amber Live, and we are every Tuesday. And we are here to talk a little bit of sports. In fact, let's go ahead and talk about a few things that happened this last week in Mayfield. John, in the second round, after beating Santa Teresa 21-10 in the state football playoffs, they will face Piedra Vista in the 5A quarterfinal round on the 12th. And number 3, Centennial will face number 6, Rio Rancho in the 6A quarterfinals. Centennial had the first round bye, and Rio Rancho beat Alamogordo to advance. And the Bulldogs volleyball swept Centennial on Saturday to win the school's first District 3 5A title since 2018. Cruz finished the regular season 9-14 and 9-1 in district play, winning the title on a tiebreaker to solidify what would be a top 4 seed and first round bye in the double elimination Class 5A state tournament next week in Rio Rancho. And I got to say, one of our first guests when we brought everything back for the Mesilla Valley News Sports Podcast, Rob Bartz, has been on one ride of a lifetime here for the New Mexico State women's soccer team here in 2022. Coming into the year, the Aggies had only 2 prior winning seasons and had only advanced in the WAC tournament 3 times. Now, for the first time ever, they can officially call themselves champions of the WAC. That's right. The game was a tight one. Only 1 goal was scored in the match, just like the previous 2 matches. The Aggies played McKenna Gottschalk, and the Aggie defense played phenomenal the whole tournament, not allowing a score the entire week. Gottschalk was ultimately named the tournament MVP after recording a whopping 15 saves through the week. And now that the Aggies have punched their ticket to the big dance, they await their opponent in the NCAA tournament. And, of course, in New Mexico State women's basketball, they showed signs of a bright future on Monday night in the first game under Jody Adams. When the dust settled, though, Colorado won that game 85-55 on its home floor. 11 different players saw the floor for New Mexico State, and Sophia Inusa led the Aggies with 15 points, going 3 from 8 from long range. And men's basketball, man, they started off with a bang as the head coaching career of Greg Heyer, and they throttled New Mexico Highlands. Monday night, that score 101-52. We have a simple motto, said Heyer: we want to attack the paint and we want to protect the paint. I thought we did a great job in both areas throughout the game. The 2 Aggies that made the trip with Heyer from Northwest Florida State College to the Land of Enchantment served as the leaders in the season opener, as Deshaundre Washington finished the night with a triple-double, 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists. And Issa Muhammad ended the night as the Aggies' leading scorer, 20 points, with just 1 game under its belt. Anthem State will now get ready for one of its biggest non-conference games, as they will have to travel to El Paso to take on UTEP in the Battle of I-10 on Saturday. And, of course, there's a whole lot more sports going on, and we're going to talk about it. But first, we must get into it. In our fantasy football league, we've got Commissioner Kelly here. How are you doing today, Commissioner Kelly?
Not too bad. Snuck a W out this week against a very worthy opponent.
A very worthy opponent.
I
don't know. I feel like he's some sort of Muppet in some way. I don't really have a lot of respect for that guy. But, yeah, it was a game. And I thought I did fairly well for the fact that I had 5 players on a bye week, and I just had to shove people in there. So not too bad. But congratulations on your win, Kelly. You're on a 3-game winning streak.
Let me see here.
I think you're on a 3-game winning streak.
I have moved. Let's see here. I am 4-5.
So you're on a 4-game winning streak.
I lost last week.
Oh, you lost last week.
Andrew beat me last week. So I've won 4 out of 5.
Okay, yeah. And while I know that I am on a 3-game slide right now for sure, but I can't believe we're getting into week 10 this coming week already. The time is flying by, and before you know it, somebody's going to have to sit down and take that SAT.
It's and the best part is that it's not Lindsay yet.
Not Lindsay. No, not yet. Not yet.
It's not Lindsay yet, but it is it is Quaid for the first time. I for the first time in a few weeks seems to have woken up and adjusted his lineup. So
he finally realized he was in the league.
He did, but I really got bailed out by the fact that I'd been, and I told you this. I'd kind of waited, and I said, hey, I think quarterback and defense are 2 spots where I can get a little creative. And I did think that I could sit there and weather the storm.
Yeah.
And I have Justin Fields, who went out and put up a smooth 42 0.7 points. So
yeah, I kind of noticed that one.
Yeah, that's one of those things. So I still don't necessarily love my wide receivers, and my tight end might be the worst in the league. But it's time to start making some moves, and I'm gonna start trying to gear up to kind of go toe to toe with a couple of those teams above me. Although it is kind of funny, it's Walkie's 8-1,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams, including yourself,
Including myself, yeah,
that are 5-4.
Yep.
And then there's 1, 2, 3
At
of
4
us
and
that
5.
are 4 and 5.
And then there's
Lindsay's
Lindsay,
3 and 6, and Quade's 2
2
and
and
7.
4, 2 and 7.
So listen, there's a lot of season left.
Oh yeah, there's still
a
plenty
lot,
of season. There's still plenty of season left.
I mean, for as much as old Max has been in the driver's seat, as a Bills fan, his quarterback got a little banged up this week and might have a UCL injury that they're thinking maybe sit for 5 weeks.
Yeah, that would be bad.
So that would really put Max's situation.
But we're at that time of the season where, yeah, those injuries are going to start to come in. You know, the players are going to get a little bit more tired. You're going to see some of those come in. Unfortunately, that usually happens to me. But so far, I've been pretty good. I just got hit by those bye weeks right here in the past couple weeks. So I had to take a lot of my good players out.
And at 4 and 5, I have scored the second most points in the league. And so it's one of those situations where you kind of there's a little luck involved too.
Oh no, absolutely.
So it's this. Let's see here. Coming up this next week, what do we got? Scoreboard, week 10. Who's got who?
I don't know. Let's take a look at that.
I have Lindsay.
Oh, so you've got a shot.
I'm going to help you set your roster so that we have an idea of what's going on.
Please help her. Yeah, please help her out before we get to Thursday's game.
G, you have JR's team. Yeah. Although you guys, let's see here. He has Lamar Jackson on a bye, so his starting quarterback will be on a bye as well. Mm. So
yeah, I just looked at the projected totals, and I got to put my players back in for this next coming week.
Yeah,
so I definitely got to
get a few of those in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be reaching out to some. It's time to wheel and deal, and there's some spots where I know that I need to improve, and that's what I'm going to do. Andrew has Big Ed. Lance plays Max.
Mm-hmm.
Max is in a world of trouble.
Oh yeah.
Quade plays Walkie, and so all right. So like, I'm in a league where if you lose, you have to dress up as a Hooters waitress and serve your whole table at the draft.
Okay.
And I am in your shoes. I'm in second to last. And there's one guy below me. And so my only rule of thumb is I don't care what anyone else in the league does except for that person.
That person has to lose.
And so with in this situation with Walkie, that's a tough matchup for Quaid. So I think you're in a place where you can hold the status quo right now. We'll swip swap.
Yeah. And she'll put on the
exactly.
I don't know.
Did you go to the basketball game last night?
I did not go to the basketball game last night. Were you there right there? How did they look? I mean, they definitely put a hurting on.
No, they Highlands it's tough for them to put enough talent on. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, I want to say he cycled in. I think he played 11 players.
I didn't see exactly how many he rotated in and out.
I think 11. I think Shaq was 11, but it was a situation where he was subbing 5 in, 5 out for a little while until some foul trouble, and then it kind of turned it up a little. But I mean, if they shoot the ball, it's not a great. Highlands athletically can't even compare.
Yeah, it's very hard to compare those two teams because of how they stand. Yeah,
I read a tweet today that said, the Aggies win by 51 at home, and UTEP they played a Division II school, and UTEP played a top 15 school at home.
Yeah.
Or was it in UTEP? I can't remember. But nonetheless, they played a top 15 team and lost, and it was like opening day. Those couldn't be more different.
Oh,
and
no.
So,
completely.
I think they did exactly what they needed to do. Although I will say the last 8 minutes of the game was where I felt like you saw what they should have been. They should have been, that last 8 minutes is what they should have been doing the whole game.
Okay.
So it took them a little while to get going, but it's the first game back. It's the first game for Pinson. Peak still hasn't been cleared academically or qualified. But man, they are deep.
They're on paper. The talent is there, right there. And I have a feeling that as soon as we can get everybody on the court and we get into some more competitive games, that you'll start to see that a little bit more. I think it's a great test this Saturday to go up against UTEP this early in the season, because that'll, just put them out there to go ahead and say, this is one of those games you have to get this game.
This will not resemble either of these first two games.
Oh no,
at all. No. So I know Hire will be ready, and I know his coaching staff will be ready. And I know he will do every single thing he can to make sure that all of those players are ready as well.
Well, I'm hoping that we might be able to get him on before the break, before the school break and everything else. So I'm hoping that we might be able to go ahead and get that. We're going to wait and see what his schedule's like and what he's feeling like. But I think they're looking good. It's really nice to go ahead and get this whole thing. Like I said, I love this time of year. We got basketball going, we got football going, we got baseball, state playoffs going. So volleyball players are going to be starting here.
Women's soccer team,
WAC champions.
Oh, they brought them on to the court at halftime.
Oh, did they?
Oh yeah. And did you have the soccer coach on?
Yeah, we had Rob Bartz was one of our first guests.
That dude is as good as they come.
He was talking up, a few of the players. I think they named Gottschalk as MVP of the tournament. They didn't let anybody score a point in the tournament. They blanked everybody there. Now they won a few games, just by that one goal. But that's a win, and they came back WAC champions. They're going to go on to the NCAA, and we'll see what happens there.
No, it's awesome. He is as friendly, outgoing, and wonderful a coach as we have. We're really, really fortunate right now at NMSU to have a group of coaches that all completely go out of their way to interact with the community, to interact with the public. If Coach Kill were to walk by right now, he would no doubt take some time, stop, say hi. If
Coach Kill were to walk by right now, I guarantee he would slap your back and say, "How you doing? What's going on?"
He would sit down and want to. What are you guys talking about? And
exactly.
What do you need from me?
Exactly. And, that's the vibe you get from Coach
Kirby with the baseball team. Like it's really. I've been here. I moved here in 1998.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a group of coaches who understand how important it is to be out here and to interact with everyone in this community. And so it's awesome to see. It's even more awesome to see them have success. Baseball team, WAC champions, soccer team, WAC champions. This basketball team will win the WAC, no question. The football team, I know that they've got home games Saturday.
We've got a home game on Saturday. We travel to Mizzou the following week, and then we'll finish up.
We're trying to figure out if we can reschedule.
Exactly. Well, we have 3 games left on the schedule. We've got Lamar this coming weekend, Mizzou following that. That's on the road, and then we've got Liberty. It's supposed to be the last game of the season, but they're trying.
There might be a fourth.
There might be a fourth. They're trying to kind of reschedule to get that 12th game in that we missed out because San Jose decided to go ahead and cancel that game, which they should. They made the right decision on that. Absolutely.
That was the right
they were actually trying to get a game this last weekend, but they couldn't work out the schedules and anybody to come in and stuff like that. So they were working. Yeah,
it's a financial decision at times. And, they're in a spot where, they're like, hey, we want to get this in. And I mean, when you look at what coach has done on short notice, you come in, man, that first game against Nevada easily could have been a win. Could have been, yeah. I bet if you ask the coaches and the team, is there anything that you kick yourself in the butt over? I bet that's the one they go, gosh dang it, that's the one that we wish.
You know,
we could have back.
I wish if you asked me that same question, I probably would have went the FIU game because they did not play up to their standards the way that they should be. So it is, if they had played,
it would
better.
It would. Heater.
We went red. We went red. You have to hit the one right above it.
I think. You know what? Next time we corner them, we'll have to ask them that question to say, if you could go back and replay one game, because I do see exactly where you're coming from, but yeah, I don't know. That'd be a really interesting question. So.
Yeah, I say that because I think they had they just I don't want to say that they took it
we're
for
all out of time.
Are we all out of time?
You know what? It's been great, but we were going to try to have Max on here. But,
yeah.
You know what? We are all out of time.
You know, we have to bring in our next guest.
Yeah.
You know, I know Gavin is chomping at the bit because you know, he wants to come in here and talk. Maybe next time, Max.
Okay.
All right. Is that good?
Yeah.
Is that good?
Well, is Pat lined up, ready to go?
Pat is lined up and ready to go, and maybe we have some time at the end, Max. Now, Max,
I lost bad this week.
You're.
I don't think I broke 70 points. I don't think I broke 70 points. It was really.
Oh, we can check real quick. I can bring it up real quick right here. Let's see. We can bring it up right here, and then I'll just go over to this window, and let's see. Where are you? That's coming week. That's this coming week.
So you'll probably have to threaten him with continued employment.
Would that be a good thing to do? I don't know about that.
So
let's see. Yeah, and now we're dancing. Now we're dancing. There you go.
Well,
yeah,
but
67
you
points.
weren't the low point. Scroll up.
Yeah.
JR had an equally bad.
Yeah, he had 62.
So you know what? You weren't last.
You didn't score the least amount of points this week, but it wasn't great.
You know, next week I'm going to bounce back. The Raiders are going to bounce back. Everything's going to bounce back next week.
I'm going to try to help you bounce back because your quarterback might be out 4 to 6 weeks.
Screw it. Here we go. I think they're going to fire everybody in Vegas.
Well, we'll see how that goes. Okay, we cycled back to the beginning. It's all good. It's all good.
DJing.
Yeah, we've got Lindsay playing with the lights here so that we can we'll get the disco ball to drop a little bit later. And
you know what they do say that the cream always rises to the top.
Yep. Now we're matching at least. Now we're matching at least. So that's good.
But no, we were the thing that we're really keeping an eye on is last place. Like clearly that's
the one you want to miss.
There's one team that's 8-1. There's like 5 teams that are 5-4. There's 3 teams that are 4-5, and then there's the last 2.
Yeah,
and those are the 2 that we're keeping an eye on.
Those are the ugly ones.
Lindsay's one of those.
Well, she and I can do the SAT together. You know.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? For the kids.
It's for the kids. Yeah. It's for the kids.
For the kids.
And hopefully your SATs won't fall off the back of a UPS truck.
Aren't they changing it now or something? You don't use pencils anymore or something? I think they're dropping it to like half the questions.
Oh, I thought that was the elections.
Oh.
No. Oh, no. Sorry. That's I don't know exactly what they're doing with that. I'm just talking because you heard about the students in El Paso, right? They took the SATs and then they put them on the back of a UPS truck and then they lost them. They lost them. They fell out of the truck. Somebody had video of the SATs falling out of the truck and flying all over the place. And they gathered most of them up except for 40 of them.
Anyway.
So 40 students have to take the SATs over again.
So
I advise that would just use it as a practice test. Now you know what to expect when you're coming in. So
you know what?
It happens.
Free practice exam.
Yep. Free practice. They better not charge him to take it again. That's for sure.
We should actually try to sneak in.
Here we go now.
And the chefs are here.
Chef is here, and I'm going to change the camera here so we can get a good look at that, and we can get in there. There we go. Look at that. I think we may have to adjust it a little bit. No, set it right under there, right underneath that phone right there, because there we go. Look at this. Look at this. All right, Chef came out, and this is what he has brought for us right here. Chef, go ahead and have a seat or grab that, and go ahead and tell us what we got here.
What you have here is part of our new lunch menu.
Mm-hmm.
We started serving a lunch menu now at Amador.
Oh, yeah.
Starts at 11. Right here's a French dip. It's shaved. It's roasted prime rib, then shaved thin. You have the au jus, which is its own juices, and you have melted Swiss cheese on top.
Nice.
And the next one is a big hit. It's the ultimate grilled cheese.
What makes it the ultimate grilled cheese?
Green chili, of course.
Of course.
American cheese, pepper jack, and cheddar cheese.
Nice. So it's got a little kick to it.
A wee bit. And it's served with a tomato basil bisque.
Oh.
It's made with garlic, white wine, tomatoes, and fresh basil.
You just reminded me of every moment that I stayed home sick, and I was actually sick because, you know, a grilled cheese and soup is one of those things that my mom used to do for me all the time. And, you know, tomato basil and the ultimate grilled cheese, that just, I feel like I'm coughing right now. Perhaps I shall. No, honestly, that French dip right there looks delicious.
Well, there's 2 pieces of each, so
well, we could probably share a little bit right there. We got it all on camera, so this is what everybody's seeing right there.
Oh, wonderful.
That is the meals, and this is a new lunch menu that you guys are having.
Yes, and we also have a couple more sandwiches, which next week we'll bring out. We also have some salads as well.
That's right. Yeah, you mentioned that you had some salads.
Right.
So this is all a lunch menu that goes starting at 11 o'clock?
That is correct.
And it goes till when? 1?
3.
3. So from 11 to 3, they can come down here to the Broken Spoke and check out a great lunch menu that they have. So not just lunch, and of course you guys got your dinner special.
Amador.
The Amador. It's at the Amador. Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Never hurts to double check.
I haven't had a chance to actually check out all the rest of the clubs right here. I've got to go ahead and see.
Finished.
Take a walk around. Yeah, if I just right after I put all my toys away, then we'll go ahead and get that done. But that looks delicious. I cannot wait to actually get my hands on that a little bit. But thanks a lot for bringing that out. And actually, pass that. I want the French dip for sure. I am definitely going to be enjoying that right here. And last week's, by the way, I didn't get a chance to actually talk to you last week, but last week your it was the pork loin with the sweet potatoes and everything else right there, with sweet potato stuffing and everything. And that stuffing to me was a homemade stuffing that was absolutely delicious. I mean, yeah, it was a cornbread stuffing. Okay. And but that whole meal right there, man, talk about getting you ready for Thanksgiving. And normally, it's a little bit late. I have to go to sleep early because my alarm goes off at 4 a.m. And I'll take it home, stick it in the fridge. I'm going like, this is going to be a great lunch tomorrow, right? Yeah, it was. I got home like at about 9 o'clock, and I'm going like, nope, I'm eating this right now. I don't care what my stomach tells me at about 2 o'clock in the morning. And it told me a little something, but most of it was, that was good. It was really tasty. It was really tasty. So if you really want to get your Thanksgiving vibes, I know that is the special that you've got for November. You can come down here to the Amador Live and get that great special, and of course take advantage of the lunch specials that they have out here right now. Kind of want to do it, but I don't know. Am I talking on a microphone? I'm going to go for it. French dips are not necessarily the cleanest of meals.
Well, usually the messier, the better.
That would be the case. It's kind of sweet in there. What is that?
Kind of sweet. It's caramelized onion.
See, that was really rude of me to actually talk with my mouth full like that. I apologize, but that is delicious. I cannot wait to enjoy the rest of that, Chef. Thanks a lot for stopping by.
Absolutely.
Okay. And of course, right now, if you just let them know that we're ready for Pat, and we are going to have our next guest coming in, and I have been really, really waiting to go ahead. Oh, we had a little bit more in there? Oh, okay. Cool. And I've been really waiting to go ahead and have this guest in here because everybody's saying you gotta talk to Pat. You gotta have him come in. You're gonna go ahead and enjoy it. And Pat Gavin is actually the director, the lead of the PGM program at the New Mexico State University, and we're gonna go ahead and bring him in and get this started. And come on in, have a seat. We're going to have you move in a little bit closer to make sure that we get everybody on camera.
Okay.
Here we go. Okay,
All right.
lift it up. Look at that. Okay. There we go. Now, here's the thing. They're all going to go over there and eat all of that while I'm stuck over here. So that's fine. That's fine. I'm good with that. That happens every once in a while. Last week I got the really good meal. They have a special for the month of November. It's like a pork loin with a gravy and a cornbread stuffing and the whole thing. It is delicious. Talk about getting you ready for Thanksgiving. But of course, we are welcoming here to the Mesilla Valley News Sports Podcast, Pat, Gavin, and Pat. Of course, you are the PGA director at NMSU.
Correct.
And get a little bit closer right there. And Matt, how long have you been the PGA director up there?
So I started in, believe it or not, 1993. So I'm going on 30 years.
Really?
30 years. And, you always hear that saying, you've never worked a day in your life if you love what you do.
Mm-hmm.
I love what I do. It's been a great career. It's been a lot of fun. Been able to mentor and educate a lot of current and future golf professionals. And I enjoy every day at the office.
Oh, well, I imagine that would be one of the jobs that you've got to do that really lends itself to getting out there and enjoying yourself quite a bit. And one of the reasons that I've been wanting to talk to you for a while, because everybody that I've talked to that is involved with golf here in the city of Las Cruces, almost everybody that I know that is involved in golf in some way has made their way through the PGM program at NMSU. And it is surprising to me, who you get in there. They go through the program and they end up falling in love with this area. And then, of course, getting the opportunities to work with some of the courses that we have here is a pretty awesome thing. But almost everyone I've talked to says, oh, yeah, I graduated this year. I graduated that year. It's one of those things. So they've all made their way through this program.
Yeah, and they've come from all over the country.
Oh, yeah.
Our program, at one point, I walked into a New Mexico State PGA meeting and with a map of the United States. And we represented every single state and 4 additional countries.
Mm-hmm.
And what's funny is they all come from all over, and they come to school and they get educated and they have all these dreams to get out to the big world, right? And
yeah.
They fall in love with Las Cruces. And you're right. If you look at any golf course in the area, there's some tie to New Mexico State's PGA Golf Management Program. If it's Red Hawk, Picacho Hills, Sonoma Ranch, New Mexico State, anywhere throughout the state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked to several people from Sonoma, from Red Hawk, from New Mexico State. And like I said, it's very interesting to hear their stories on how they came here and from all the different areas, from, like you said, from around the country.
Yep.
To one of the top programs. A couple of them said like the top program that there were in the nation for the PGM. Yeah,
I'll consider us the premier program.
I would, because you were one of the first ones too.
We're the third one to come on.
Mm-hmm.
So Ferris State came on first. They're in northern Michigan, then Mississippi State, then New Mexico State, and then Penn State came on. And so we were referred to as the original 4.
Mm-hmm.
And all 4 schools were just doing everything so good, and enrollment was through the roof, that a lot of universities took note of that and said, well, if New Mexico State and Mississippi State and all these other schools can do it, we can do it.
Yeah.
And so we grew from one of 4 programs to one of 20 programs. And over time, a couple of them have dropped out. And currently there's 17 programs around the country. But yeah, I think we do it all. We do it all really well. In fact, great. So I would consider ourselves the premier program without a doubt.
You could absolutely toot your horn, Pat. Just let them know. Yes, yeah,
Well,
we just say we are that good.
We are that good.
We are that good. And
what?
A lot of people hear about the PGM program and the golf program, and the first you hear about a program like that, and some people think that automatically, that's the basket weaving course. You go out there and you play golf, and that's it. But I know that there's a lot more to it. So, I mean, what is the PGM program at New Mexico State University?
So first off, you're absolutely right. In fact, my wife thinks all I do is play golf every day.
Yeah.
So when I come home and I'm stressed out, I go, God, it's a long day. She thinks I play golf, And so you are so right when you say that basket weaving. Back in the 90s, that's what a lot of people thought it was just a makeshift degree where students just played golf and got a degree. And until people started to realize that it's a full-fledged business degree in marketing. So they do every class that a marketing major does, plus they have to do 16 months of internship, and they do that during the summers. And then they have to pass a playing ability test, and they have to take pass some PGA testing as well. So they do everything above and beyond. And yeah, it's been great. It's been great to see how the program's grown through the years. Both men and women, individuals on the men and women's golf teams, a lot of them represent students in our program. And so we work hand in hand with both the golf teams. And I think we put out a great product, a very successful. When students graduate from our program, they're very successful, and the placement rate for both the internships and permanent jobs has been 100% since I've been here. So
yeah,
for 30 years, 100%.
I'm sure that you have New Mexico State students all over the country, probably internationally, because I know a few golfers from Canada up in the Vancouver area. And
yeah, we have graduates in Thailand, we have graduates in Spain, Mexico.
Goodness.
All over the world, but for the most part, they graduate and they end up somewhere that they would have never thought. The East Coast, New York. If you look around, almost every golf course in New York, there's going to be some type of tie to New Mexico State. In fact, when I meet with visiting families, I tell them to throw out one of their top 10 golf courses in the country. And it's kind of like that. What's that thing? 8 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
6 degrees.
6 degrees,
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Yeah.
It's 6 degrees of New Mexico State PGA Golf Management. I will challenge anyone to find me a golf course in the United States that's a premier golf course that doesn't either currently have a New Mexico State presence or has had a New Mexico State presence. It's very cool.
And like you said, there's a lot that goes on with the program, because when I look at the website, and I've got the website pulled up right here for everyone to see, that website is out of the business college, and you're under that umbrella. And so you are, when they say PGA golf management, that management part in there, that business part in there is, the bulk of the of everything that you're learning right here. It is something that it is very complex. It's not an easy thing.
They take like I said, they take every business class a marketing student would take: accounting, finance, econ, management, marketing. But we go above and beyond that. And so we want them to get that hands-on training. So every summer they have to go work at a golf course their entire time here. And when they graduate, they'll have 16 months of internship under their belt. We require that they get paid during these internships, and most of them now supply free room and board. So that gives our students the option to go anywhere in the country, get paid a very fair hourly wage with free room and board, and get educated on the job. And so that's really key for this.
Oh, I would imagine so, because that is one of the things, especially when you're first getting out, and that is the experience that you need. Where have you worked? What have you done? And if it were to be just the NMSU golf course, that's one thing, and that's part of your program, and they would expect that. But when you see
Pebble Beach, you name it. You name like I said before, you name a top tier golf course, Augusta National. We've had students intern at Augusta National, and their experiences are second to none. But it's just a great program. Yes, there is golf involved. Yes, we have tournaments. But the tournaments are in the afternoon after they go to class. So someone once, one of the press articles was all like, a typical day is you are tackling a math problem in the morning, and you're tackling a bunker shot in the afternoon. And
which is just another math problem.
Yeah,
when you think about it, that's all physics and geometry and everything else like that.
And so we're educating the future PGA professionals to work and run in golf facilities and hopefully become general managers down the line. But they're always chasing that dream of wanting to be a player as well. And we've had some of our graduates be successful in the playing arena. And we 2 years ago, we had a graduate play in the PGA Championship. And his experience, we all got to share, through social media. And it was really cool to see him go through the whole thing.
That's really awesome. And that's not just your program. but there's a lot of student athletes that go through NMSU that end up moving on to different things, and you get really excited about when you see a name or you see somebody, you know, like, or you recognize a name, they're going like, hey, I know that guy.
I went to school with him.
I went to school with him. Well, I have the opportunity to work with the Aggie football team and travel with them. So every once in a while, you know, I'll hear a name on, you know, a basketball program or something else that'll be going on, and I'll hear some names of some of the other players, and it always surprises me how many players we actually get to move on to that next level. And it's just the same for golf and your program that you have, except I would actually say that your program actually gets more people out, like you said, to those premier golf establishments that are out there, and they have those New Mexico State ties.
Well, this past week, so on Monday, I drove to Phoenix for the PGA of America's annual meeting, and at that annual meeting and awards, and at the awards dinner, 2 of our graduates got national awards. So you're talking 28,000 PGA professionals, and 2 of our New Mexico State alumni received national awards there. Tom Yost for player development, and he's great with the young kids, and he's in Farmington. And then Ian Brown, who's one of our graduates, and he got it for Merchandiser of the Year for his golf facility. So it's just really neat. And so when I went there for the awards dinner, and I put it all over my social media, is I ran into 15, 20, 30 alumni who came up to me and hugged me. I maybe haven't seen me for 15, 20 years. And we've created this culture that when you come to New Mexico State's PGA Golf Management Program, you're coming into a family, and it's 100% true. Once you become one of us, you're part of our family, and you're always going to be part of the family. And so when I travel around, I went to New York last summer and just sent out an email to all the alumni and said, I'm going to be at this steakhouse. If anyone wants to come join me. 42 people showed up, and we had
the entire steakhouse.
Yes, yes. And luckily the owner was a father of one of our alumni, and he just closed the whole place down, and we had one heck of a time. And so things like that, you know, it makes it all worth it.
Absolutely. I can imagine that would have been a really good time. So tell me, because I'm very interested on how you came to New Mexico State and your journey to go ahead and get here. Like what was one of the things that led to you coming over here to New Mexico State?
So I was born and raised here. So I'm from Las Cruces. I went to Las Cruces High. I went to New Mexico State, graduated, and moved to Phoenix. And our own legend here in Las Cruces, here in New Mexico, here in the Southwest, Herb Wimberly, who was the men's golf coach for 35 years and my mentor when it comes to golf, he called me and said, we're looking for a director for the program. You should apply. And so I applied and got married, got the job, and bought a house all within 7 days. So my life changed greatly back in the summer of '93. And it's funny that we're here because I was here last time I was here. I was sitting right over here at the Wimberly table, and we were premiering the movie A Walk with Herb, and it's kind of a spiritual movie on what Herb's beliefs were when he was mentoring golf players like Joe Bullock and Van Bullock. So it was really cool. So what brought me back here? Herb Wimberly and a job, right?
Yeah,
it was a job. I never thought I'd be here 30 years.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time that we've heard Herb's name as well. And in fact, they just finished the tournament in his name.
Herb Wimberly and at New Mexico State, and the Aggies represented well and won the tournament. As it's great. And I have coffee with Herb once or twice every week still. He's still a lifelong mentor of mine, and it's great. And so I try and pass that same thing on to all these other students, right? And I've seen some great ones come through. And
I mean, there's been a number of different players that have actually come through here, and I'm sure that the feeling that you have with Herb is sometimes the feeling that a lot of people would get with you and your program and everybody else.
I hope so, and I hope there's that respect. The respect I show and have of Herb, I'm hoping that my alumni have that same respect of me and what I've tried to create and help them. And it's neat to have these relationships. We have a local gentleman, Justin Darling, who opened up. He had this unique idea to open up a golf head cover company, and boy, to watch it grow. And his brother came back, Josh Darling, came back to work with him. And one of my co-workers, so I have two PGA professionals that work underneath me, Josh Salmon and Henry Statina. Henry's wife works for Justin's head cover business also. So it's a family. And to watch this head cover business blow up and do so great, I love to see that.
See, I'm smiling because, like I said at the beginning, when you mentioned the golf program at NMSU, a lot of people will just kind of blow that off, like I said before. But I'm smiling because you start getting into all these little things that are these opportunities, and you're getting into business opportunities that somebody might not have thought of. Now, I would never have thought that, a head cover kind of business would be something that would take off in a way that his has. And I'm going like, that's something that I would have never have thought of, but somebody in your program said, you know what? I think a lot of people need to cover these things.
Yep.
Let's make some stuff for them.
I'll never forget. I went over to his house. Him and his wife invited me over for a drink, and I'm sitting in their front room, and I hear this noise going on in the background, in the back room. And he laughs. He goes, "You want to see what it is?" I go, "Yeah, I got to see what it is."
Mm-hmm.
He opens up the guest bedroom, and there's all these embroidery machines going at it, and they're making these head covers in his. And then he grew into his garage, into another room, into another building. And today he's in a 40,000 square foot warehouse.
Wow.
Just doing great.
Yeah. Just one step after the next.
We had another alumni quit his job about a year ago at a golf course because he had developed a software program for golf course maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
And he was selling so many of these to golf courses that he had to spend 100% of his time with this software development. And so, yeah, it's great. It's great to just sit back and watch all these individuals succeed in life and get married and have kids. And now we have legacy. I've been here long enough. Now we're having legacy members. So we have 3 different current students that their parents were graduates of our program.
How long have you actually been at NMSU?
30 years.
30 years. So
30 years.
Wow. So you are getting those legacy ones. And, is it strange to you to have some of the people that have come through the program come back to you and say, "Hey, this is my son, be good to him"?
Absolutely. Here's my son. I trusted you 25 years ago. Now I'm trusting you all over again with my son or daughter. And that's really cool. That's really cool. So like I said, we have 3 in the program right now. We had a mother and a son graduate through the program together
At the same time?
At the same time.
Wow.
And so that was really awkward because I was during their visit, I'm talking to the son about the program, and I get interrupted about 5 minutes into the talk. And the mom says, "Excuse me, look over at me, please. I'm the one that's coming to the school." I go, "I'm so sorry."
Oh, really?
And so she comes to the program. Well, he had fallen in love with it so much that he enrolled also, and they went through the program, and they've been very successful together. So a mother and her son, a couple sets of twins. I mean, I've seen it all. And it's every day. It's just a lot of fun. We have tournaments for our students, and then we want them to learn how to do tournaments. So we have a lot of fundraiser tournaments, and we just had one. That's how I met some of these individuals last week. We had a memorial tournament for a student of ours that was killed 10 years ago in a car wreck, and then we teamed up with First Responders Fund and Farmers Insurance here in town.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had a kind of a joint tournament where 2 tournaments were going on at the same time. And that was really cool to watch the community come together. And then in March, we'll have a huge tournament, and it's a fundraiser for our scholarship fund. And we'll have 25, 30 teams there. It'll be the last weekend in March. And it's a memorial tournament named after my son, unfortunately, where the money goes into an endowment. And I'm very proud to say that I started doing this in raising money for the endowments in 2015, and I'm right at $1 million raised.
Wow.
And so the endowment pays out about 4% a year in scholarships. So that's $40,000 a year that I can generate scholarship money for the students in the program. And I'm all about making education affordable. So I'm always trying to find ways to get scholarship money.
And that is amazing that you would do that. And I'm happy for the success of that. And that's pretty cool. There's a lot of students, I'm sure. $40,000 can go a long way.
Especially in New Mexico State.
Yeah, I was going to say, especially at New Mexico State.
You know, with the lottery scholarship, the out-of-state scholarships that are available, that New Mexico State makes available to out-of-state students as well. 40,000 actually goes a long way. Currently, we have 100 students in the program. So I try and guarantee that if you have a 3.0 or higher, you're guaranteed at least $1,000 scholarship. That $1,000 goes a long way.
Oh, no, absolutely. You know, even just covering books
Yep.
for yourself like that, $1,000 will go a lot. And I think that's very awesome. That's really cool like that. And, you know, some of the things that that go on with the university, like you said, the fundraisers that go along with the golf program, but there's so much more that goes along with that. A lot of the management side of things goes along with those golf courses, because you've got fundraisers. Sometimes you have other different types of events that'll go on that a lot of these students have to go on.
Weddings,
and go through.
right?
Oh
Weddings.
my goodness! You know what? I didn't even think about that, because a lot of the weddings that I've been to in the last few years have all been at golf courses.
Absolutely.
Because the view, you cannot beat the views for those
Correct.
photos and stuff like that.
Correct. We were playing. In fact, on Halloween, there was a wedding at New Mexico State, and they staged it all out on the golf course. And I thought for sure everybody was going to show up dressed up, and it was going to be like a Halloween theme. And some of them did, but not. But I asked them, why did you pick New Mexico State? And they said, because of the views. You can't beat the views. And same thing with Red Hawk, Sonoma, all the golf courses.
No, all the
around
golf
country.
courses here in town have some excellent views everywhere.
Absolutely.
We were just up at the NMSU golf course. We had a little giveaway for George Lopez tickets this last Friday. And, you know, just sitting there at the restaurant and looking out over the course right there, that is one heck of a view. That was really nice. And I was like, man, if it was a little bit warmer, I'd like to be outside on this patio enjoying this, you know. But it was very cool to go out and see that course. And like I said, the thing that I don't do a lot of golf. I'm not a golfer per se. I've done a couple of fundraising tournaments, like you said. And the first time I went out on the golf course, I was told that I had the language down very well, because it's usually swing, bunch of words that we can say on the internet, but we're not going to because, you know, we're not. But I was told that I had the language down on the course fairly well. I just had to work on hitting the ball, for one, two, and getting it to go straight, which is the whole joy of the game of golf in general.
But just go out and have fun, right?
Yeah,
and
and
even if
that's
you
the
don't
whole
play
thing.
golf, you play in a scramble. You know how to putt, right? So you get on the green and people putt. And I was just talking to a couple individuals over there, and they said they're horrible golfers, but they're great putters. I go, so you probably have a good time at the scrambles, and they're all like, absolutely. And so that's what it's all about. Just get out and have fun.
Getting out and having fun. But like I said, there's so many other different things that are going on at a golf course that, once again, when you think about the golf management course at NMSU, you're thinking they're just going out there playing golf. But there's so many little things that go on, from maintenance of the course, you know, the events that you have going on.
Junior golf.
Junior golf, yeah.
You know, junior golf has exploded in Las Cruces, and a lot of our alumni are a big part of that. So, you know, you look at New Mexico State and you have Jason White and Kevin Keller. Sonoma Ranch, you have Eli Ehlers and Vern Bain.
We had Eli and Vern on before, and talking about
Red Hawk, Matt Sheehan, and then my two guys, Josh Simone and Henry Statina. And Henry actually works on weekends at Red Hawk with Matt, and they grew their junior program from, I think, like 15 students to like 150 students this past year. And a lot of people don't even think about that. And that's how we grow the game of golf, is with juniors.
And that's another thing that's been kind of a thread that's gone through to everybody that I've talked to at all of the different golf courses for this year, because I always ask a lot of people that, you know, we're coming out of the pandemic years, and for those 2 years it was really, really rough. But for golf, it was like an explosion happened where a lot of people were doing that, and I think that comes off the youth explosion comes off of that as well from those pandemic years. With just getting out on the course is one of the things that golf was kind of like tailor made for the pandemic there.
Yeah, we hate to say that. We hate to say that the pandemic was a shot in the arm for the golf industry, but it really was.
You know what?
The pandemic allowed people to start playing golf to get out, right?
Yeah.
You couldn't do anything inside, so get out. So they go to the golf course. And now, if a golf course isn't generating a profit right now in today's day and time, they need to just close up and find something different to do, because golf is exploding everywhere.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, you can only play so much PGA golf on your video game systems of your choice. I'm not saying anything in particular, Xbox, but you can only play so many video games and get your golf scores on that way. But when you get out on the course and you're there, and you're especially here in Las Cruces, because we've got the weather. I mean, come on, we're at the beginning of November out here. We're out here on the patio.
Yeah.
I just got a long sleeve shirt on. It is gorgeous out here, and it's one of those things where you can get out there, enjoy the weather, enjoy the company of a few friends, and have a little fun hitting the little ball in the hole from 300 yards out.
I mean, how good is this weather right now?
It's gorgeous.
This is crazy.
I mean, at some point in time, I'm hoping that we'll be able to get a shot of the view right here, because when I'm sitting at this table and I'm looking at our guests when the sun was going down, those oranges come out right over in the west right there. And I'm hoping that maybe we'll be able to, one of these days, I'm just going to stick a camera out over at one of the tables and take a shot from there. But, being out here, we can pretty much almost do this year round, which is one of the great things, because there are tournaments that you guys hold, tournaments, fundraisers, different things like that are held year round. And you got to think, of course, that's one of the draws for getting everybody in here to the PGM program too.
Yeah.
If you had your choice, Northeast.
Right. And so when we were one of three, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you can go to Ferris State in northern Michigan, kind of cold.
A little bit.
Mississippi State, believe it or not, pretty cold.
They get some good winters there.
And they get very humid in the summer.
Oh, yeah.
Penn State gets pretty cold.
Yep.
And so, bam, here's New Mexico State, where it's golfable year round.
What do you mean it's like 72 degrees in mid-December? What's going on with that?
Exactly.
That was honestly when I was looking for radio jobs back in the day. I moved here in 95, right? So I'm looking for radio jobs in the early 90s, and a friend of mine was kind of headhunting for me. Oh, they're looking for this person here. They're looking for this person here. And I'm sending out all my tapes out, because we had to use cassette tapes back then, people. And I'm sending out all these tapes out. And one thing I noticed, I said, you know what? Can you get me someplace that's just a little bit warmer than, everything I noticed was going like up north. And he sent me a couple from North Dakota. I'm going like, dude, I'm not going to a place where they can play ice hockey all year long. I'm not doing that.
No.
And the opportunity came up down here, and I was thinking about it, and I was just taking a look at the weather information that we used to get up, and every day it would just come up like, mostly sunny, partly cloudy, 70 degrees, 60 degrees. And I'm sitting there with a jacket on up in northwest New Mexico in the Four Corners area, Gallup, going like, I have to turn on my space heater here in the studio. I think going down south would be a good thing. And I'm not going to lie, the weather was one of the things, but you said it. I mentioned it earlier. You come down here, you fall in love with the area, you fall in love with the people, and then you're just, I don't want to say stuck, but you're stuck in a happy place.
Yep. And you fall in love with the food.
And the food is
second to none. And there's Mexican food everywhere, but Las Cruces Mexican food is just different.
It is different. It is very, very different.
I've gone to restaurants in Albuquerque, and they have great food, but the flavor here is just another whole nother level.
You mentioned Eli. We were talking with him earlier, and he came up from Northeast.
Absolutely.
And I said, when you go back home, do you miss the food? He goes, oh, yeah.
And you know what? When he goes back home, it's in Las Cruces because his family
moved down here. That's right. Yeah.
In love with it.
Exactly.
It happens. It happens. This is a great place.
It is. And it's a great place. And part of it making it great is the university they have it here. Part of it is, of course, your program, because you do bring in people from all over the place, and then they get spread out all over the place. And I think that's a great program, and it's a great way to go.
So when I retire, I think I'm going to buy a little Sprinter and just drive around the country and play golf at different places every day, because I have alumni everywhere.
Yeah, you get
and if they don't hook me up,
exactly,
then something's wrong here.
Exactly. You get the hookup. You're going to travel down there. You're going to look at the next course, call them up and say, hey, I'm going to be there on Thursday. Can you hook me up with a round? And
when I was in New York, I was in New York on Father's Day, And how good is it when you're playing Wing Foot on Father's Day and then playing Sabonic and a couple other beautiful courses the next 4 days? I mean, you can't beat it.
I mean, yeah, I can imagine that would be pretty awesome. And then on Father's Day as well.
It was awesome.
That would be really cool. So, I mean, it's a great program that you've got going right there. Yeah, you know, something that you've been doing for 30 years. How long do you think you're going to keep doing it?
So the joke going around is within the year, but definitely within the next 2 years.
Within the next 2 years?
2 years. I want to be young enough to travel, like I said, and go see my family, my alumni, right? And take my real family with me and just travel. And so within the next 2 years for sure, but you never know. I've been saying that for the last couple of years. I love it. You know, I love what I do.
There are a lot of people here in town that say, like, you know, I'm going to retire, I'm going to give it up. And then I ran into Barbara Hubbard earlier today.
Yep.
She's in her 90s.
Unbelievable.
And she was still talking about, like, you know, I was thinking about bringing this person in. And I'm going like, Barbara, chill, relax. You've earned it. You know, do it. Go for it. And nope, she says that she's going to keep going.
So Barbara, I was with Barbara at La Posta for Herb Wimberly's birthday about a year ago. And she's in her mid-90s. And she's talking about George Strait here and Garth Brooks here and going to Texas A&M and Texas Tech and bringing this person here. And I'm all like, Barbara, you're wearing me out, man.
She is one of my favorite people.
She's one
to hang out when she comes up on the trips. It's pretty awesome to see her there. When we went on a trip one time, she was at the bus handing out these little snack packs of candy and everything in there to everybody that came up onto the bus for the game we were traveling on. And you know, I'm going like, where did you come from for the energy that she has at that? So I'm saying, I know a few people that say they're going to retire, and it doesn't quite happen.
I'm on the Barbara Hubbard plan.
Are you on the Barbara Hubbard plan?
We both love what we do.
It's like, I'm going to go travel for a couple of years. Maybe I'll come back. Maybe somebody will say, hey, Pat, you know, we need a little help with this one thing back here in town.
Yeah.
Would you be able to help us out?
Absolutely. See,
and Pat's going to go, I'm there.
Yep.
Well, thanks a lot for coming in. I really appreciate that. It was good talking with you.
We'll be taking a team to a national tournament, a PGA Golf Management National Tournament this weekend in Las Vegas. And hopefully, if we win the national championship, I'm going to come bust up your party next Tuesday.
Come over.
The trophy.
If you want to bring the trophy in, we'll put it right there. And we'll put a camera on it, and then we'll just make sure that we've got it right there for you. Because I was about to ask you, you know, what else have you got coming up?
We have a big national tournament that's coming up. And so we'll bring 5 of our students to take on the other 17 programs. And it'll be at the Bears Best Golf Course in Las Vegas. Outstanding golf course. Director of Golf is a New Mexico State alumni, so that shows you we're everywhere. And
so you got a bit of an edge, maybe?
Hopefully we got some preferential tee times.
There you go. And even if that doesn't happen, you're welcome back at any time.
Awesome.
If there's anything you want to talk about or get the word out on anything, please let us know. I'd be more than happy.
Hey, Las Cruces, do you have any students that are interested in a program? Give them my number, 575-649-8993. That's my personal cell phone. Give them out.
You know, you're beating me to the punch on all these questions. I was just going to ask, you know, how would they get involved with the program? How would they contact you? They contact the university. And if anybody is interested, there you go. He said it before I even had it.
Send me an email, my first initial of my first name and my last name, P. Gavin. So PGA VIN at nmsu.edu.
It was meant to be. It was meant to be. Absolutely. That is awesome. So it's a great program. It is a premier program in the country. And I guaranteed that if you want to do anything in golf in the future, the PGM program here at New Mexico State University with Pat is the place that you've got to be to go ahead and move on to those next levels and to get to all that. So come down here, check out the program. I'm sure, Pat, you have a lot of students that you've talked to in the past to go ahead and get them to come down.
Come on down. I'll sit down and spend an hour with you, talk about the program. We can Zoom if you're in another city or state, and let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. So go ahead, get it done, get down here, check it out. Trust me, we've talked about it. It'll be a continuing thread. It'll be a continuing theme for just about everybody that I've talked to here, that you come down to this place, you're going to love it. You're going to fall in love with it and fall in love with all the people just
People are
like
great.
Pat.
People are great.
Absolutely. Once again, thanks a lot for coming
Thank
in.
you.
We'll see you next. I'm hoping we'll, come
Next
here with
Tuesday,
the
I'm gonna
trophy.
crash the party.
Come in with the trophy. We'll have you stand right back here and hold the trophy up for the entire. I think that's Kelly's.
I'm a big Dolphins fan, so I won't hold that against you.
That's not me.
Oh,
that's
not
Kelly.
you? Okay.
I think
All
those are
Well,
Kelly's
let's throw them in
keys.
the trash then.
Oh, well, if you want to, you might want to take them over to him. But thanks
All
a
right,
lot,
thank
Pat. Thanks a lot. That is Pat Gavin, of course, the director of the PGM program, or the PGA program at New Mexico State University. And that was awesome. It was a whole lot of fun. And, of course, that does it now for our Mesilla Valley News Sports podcast. We will be back again next week, of course, 6 o'clock right here live on the patio at the Amador Live Entertainment District. It is a whole lot of fun to be right out here. And like I said, we talk about the weather a lot because it's so awesome here in Las Cruces. It is November. We're out here on the patio and enjoying ourselves. But we will see you next week, 6 o'clock, for another Mesilla Valley News Sports podcast.